The man let his guard down for just a second and got dragged into the woods by a demoness poisoned with lust. Even worse, she kept praising how handsome he looked while forcing him down. His name was Yun. Reborn into this world, he'd been sold to the Nine Nether Demons sect as a kid, working as a mushroom-picking cook. Just half a year more, and he could buy back his freedom. Then the sky would be his limit. The hell with this cult. As a transmigrator, of course, he had his own golden finger. Yet no matter how many spirit beads he collected, the system only said, keep trying. He started to suspect this system was made by Pink Sixie, some budget knockoff company. While he was still ranting about it, a rustle came from the nearby bushes. I'm just a kitchen guy. Xiao Yun. Whoever's there, go easy, he yelped, stepping back. A cold, commanding female voice snapped. Come here, or I'll kill you. Furious but scared, Yun swallowed his pride and moved closer. Then two pale hands shot out, grabbing his leg. The strength behind them was terrifying. He was slammed to the ground before he could react. And there she was, beautiful beyond reason. Seeing her heavy breathing, he panicked. Senior sister, who are you? I'm level 0 in dual cultivation. You'll kill me. The sect forbids killing your own. She ignored him, tearing open his rough linen shirt. Shut up, she snapped, glaring down at him. Make your second body stand up. I can't, he stammered. She spat out a creepy little worm and sneered, then allow me to help. Swallow it, she said. I'll grant you an unforgettable memory. That's when he realized she was the infamous witch of 10,000 insects. Wait, I can handle it myself, he pleaded. She stuffed the worm down his throat anyway. Do I look like I have time to waste? The moment it went down, his whole body jolted upright, literally. The woman gave a wicked smile. Lucky you. And what followed was an all-night battle of pure chaos. At dawn, she finally woke up, calm and composed again. With a flick of her fingers, her garments shimmered back into place. Her name, which Queen Wu Xian, leader of the demonic cult, feared across the land. She looked down at the unconscious man lying before her. Stretching lazily, she murmured, not bad. For a mere mortal, lasting an entire day is impressive. A perfect medicine vessel. Too bad for him. Crossing paths with me means he's nothing but leftover dregs. Though the poison hadn't been fully purged, it was under control. I'll deal with it later, she whispered. I've lost my virginity today. This must never be spoken of. As a disciple of the Nine Nether sect, dying for me should be your honor. Just as she raised her palm to finish him off, a bright glow burst from her chest, humming with strange energy. The sudden surge of energy caught Wu Xian off guard. What's going on? The eternal soul pearl, it's reacting? Without hesitation, she dropped down, right onto Yun's face, closing her eyes to sense the energy flow. Could it be that the pearl has resonated with this man? She guided the artifact's power toward his lower abdomen and froze in shock. Her life-bound treasure was merging perfectly with his spirit source. Her pulse quickened. Eternal soul pearl, guard this man, she commanded excitedly. He's no waste. He's medicine incarnate. Scene shift. Inside the demonic palace's inner hall. Wu Xian staggered in, wounded but alive. Hatred burned in her chest. So this is how the so-called righteous fight. Poison and treachery. But then, her body started to shrink. Her spiritual energy drained away in visible streams. She stumbled to a mirror beside the spirit pool, only to see a teenage girl staring back. Damn them, she hissed. Once I recover, I'll wipe them out and make them spit up the antidote. She adjusted her robe, now far too large for her smaller frame. Suddenly, the candles blew out. From the rooftop, a shadow dropped silently into the room. This is the cult leader's forbidden hall, she warned coldly. Trespassers die. Even weakened, her instincts were sharp as ever. She twisted aside, evading the strike with ease. A graceful pivot later, she was already behind her attacker, her hand snapping up to grip the intruder's throat. Her voice dropped to a dangerous whisper. Fang Yin, have you forgotten your own master? Fang Yin heard the voice and immediately opened her eyes wide, scrutinizing the person before her. Only then did she realize the girl standing there truly was the cult leader. Seeing Fong Yin recognize her, Wu Xiaoyan finally released her hold. She turned away indifferently and strode toward the high seat. Little Yin, remember what I told you before I went into seclusion. Keep the hall in order, don't cause me trouble. I hate trouble above all. Fong Yin felt crushed by the rebuke. Master Fong Yin is foolish. Perhaps I didn't understand your meaning. Hearing this, Wu Xiaoyan immediately tipped up Fong Yin's chin. You're stupid, truly stupid beyond help. You wouldn't have leaked the location of my retreat, would you? I distinctly told only you. Fong Yin clutched Wu Xiaoyan's ankle and cried out, I'd never. I'd lock you away just to admire you. How could I tell anyone your whereabouts? Tell me who did this to you, and I'll wipe out their entire clan to avenge you. Wu Xiaoyan nodded in satisfaction and suspected the attacker was Tai Xiao. Also, keep my coming out of seclusion strictly secret. Find a chance to hand the Eternal Soul Pearl to the kitchens and have that brat He-Yun keep it. Fong Yin was stunned. Master, the pearl is your most treasured thing, and there are even rumors outside that the pearl will bring dominion. Wu Xiaoyan waved her hand irritably and cut her off. Do what I told you. No chatter. Also, prepare a set of plain clothes for me. I'll go undercover near He-Yun. Handle the Si-Yu-Bomb matter as I instructed. Upon hearing this, Fong Yin immediately began to wail. Master, you're leaving again? Wu Xiaoyan, exasperated, said, Try to act normal. Stop behaving like such a freak. I'll be in the kitchens. What? You think I'm going anywhere? Fine, get to work. Meanwhile, He-Yun, his energy drained, finally stirred and opened his eyes. After painfully dragging himself up from the ground, he immediately recalled the horrific memory from the day before. He couldn't help but wail, I'm not clean anymore. At that moment, the system chimed. Congratulations, young Master Yun. +1 point. Hearing it, He-Yun scrambled to check the panel and asked in confusion, What's going on? Where did these points come from? The system chimed again. Total points, 100 million. Host objective achieved. Upgrading system now. Host may take off at any time. Meanwhile, in the 9 Nether Demon Sect kitchen, the flame-plumed chickens foraging had no idea anything was happening. A pair of terrifying old hands was creeping up on them. While the flame-plumed chickens were being roasted, He-Yun at last returned to the kitchen. Seeing him try to sneak back to his room, the old man immediately asked, Where have you been? Gone all day. What happened? Where are your clothes? He-Yun fell silent for a moment, then answered plaintively, Master, I was slept with. The old man, meanwhile, kept seasoning the roast. Just that. Only then did He-Yun carefully recount the whole thing. I went to the back hill to dig vegetables and ran into a senior sister from the 10,000 Insects Valley. Maybe she'd gone mad. She treated me like some great tonic and had me for a whole day and night. The old man's expression instantly turned complicated. After a long pause, he sighed, Kid, you really are something else. He-Yun then noticed a roast and said, By the way, the flame-plume chickens are usually offered to the sect elders, right? You roasted one in secret. Aren't you afraid they'll hang you if they find out? But the old man didn't care. You don't tell, I don't tell. One less chicken they won't notice. If you keep your mouth shut, I'll give you half. It'll help restore your depleted yang. He-Yun didn't hesitate. He swore he wouldn't tell. The old man suddenly remembered something and added, Oh, go into town tomorrow and buy some spices. The kitchen's running low. Take it back to your room, eat up, and get some rest. Seeing He-Yun's weakened figure, the old man couldn't help but sigh. Kids grow up, you just can't keep them. After speaking, the old man recalled Fong Yin's earlier visit. I've got a friend who needs to go undercover near He-Yun. Tomorrow, find some excuse to send him down the mountain. The old man blurted out, So the cult leaders come out of seclusion? I know. Heaven knows, earth knows, you and I know. Does the cult leader know? Don't worry. But the cult leader is old. Yet she's as fierce and violent as ever. It turned out that just now, under his master's instruction, He-Yun had gone down the mountain early to buy some spices. The depression from being drained had already lifted. That night back in the dorm, he'd sworn under his breath, That damned witch, if I find you, I'll make sure you can't walk. With that, He shoved the half-roasted chicken into his mouth. He still hadn't seen the woman's face clearly. There was no one to find. Besides, the little Karami from 10,000 Insects Valley supposedly starts at level 15. A level, zero nobody like him dreaming of revenge, was laughable. He looked at the roast dubiously. Can this chicken really restore depleted yang? As he numbly ate, a system prompt rang in his head. System upgrade complete. As a reward for young Master Yun, years of collecting spirit beads, a small gift. Accept? Click to confirm and open the chest. Though Ian didn't know what it was, he forced himself to click confirm. The virtual chest exploded open. A prompt chimed, "Congratulations, young Master Yun. 2 lives awarded. Additionally, you've unlocked the talent. Adventure Fragment Synthesis. Adventures are everywhere. May young Master Yun soon attain paradise." Note: if you wish to level up now, you may spend collected spirit points to jump to level 60. Yun analyzed coldly. Jumping straight to 60 would only draw attention. Wouldn't that just make him a target for experiments? If only there were artifacts or techniques to hide your level. Where would he get those? Just then, cries for help rang out nearby, snapping him from his thoughts. In plain clothes disguised as a little girl, Wu Xiaoyan was being chased relentlessly by several bandits. She was clearly heading straight for Yun, crying out constantly, "Help! Help me!" It looked like the bandits were about to capture her. With hope in her eyes, she looked at Yun, praying he would step in. Yun's sense of justice surged. Men snatching women in broad daylight. Where's the law? But seeing that each of them had 8-pack abs, his legs went weak. If he didn't help and word got out, how could he ever join the righteous sect? Yet with his level 0 cultivation, jumping in would be suicide. So he had no choice but to upgrade using points. Years of savings vanished in an instant. Fury rose in Yun. With great power comes great responsibility. Consider it building a resume for joining the righteous sect. Unexpectedly, the moment he landed, his footing slipped. He tumbled down the stairs, but, for the sake of face, forced himself to steady his stance. The 3 were stunned on the spot. Desperate to save her, Yun shouted first, "Let the girl go." The bandits shouted in panic. "You're a cultivator," Yun retorted. "This is right near the 9 Nether Demons sect. What do you expect me to be?" As soon as he spoke, the bandits hurled Wu Xiaoyan out. They left only, "Spare us, sir. Take the girl." Yun was speechless. What just happened? That's it. I didn't even do anything. So why did I spend 50 million spirit points to upgrade? I didn't need to. Just reveal my name, and that would have been enough, right? He quickly backed away. "You look safe now. Go on, get back." But Wu Xiaoyan sobbed and threw herself into his arms. "My parents owed gambling debts and hanged themselves. Now the debt collectors are after me. I have nowhere to go. You save me, young master. If you don't mind, I'll give myself to you. Or we could just marry right here. Your call, young master." Unexpectedly, his words hit Yun's sore spot. "Miss, no need. You don't have to, because I don't have that capability anymore. Here's the thing. Last night, after eating Master's roast flame plume chicken, I suddenly got aroused in the middle of the night, just as I was about to take care of it myself. Whenever I try, my stomach seizes up in pain. I think that which puts some kind of cursed insect on me. I'm not really fit for cultivation anymore, so don't think about repaying me. You look pitiful. Come with me to town first and we'll figure something out." Wu Xiaoyan, seeing Yun didn't push her away, quickly nodded and said she would obey. After a day's travel, the 2 finally reached the town. But it was already late, not the time to shop. Yun said, "Let's find a place to rest, shop tomorrow." What Yun did next stunned Wu Xiaoyan. He suddenly pulled out a straw mat and generously said, "You take the mat to sleep. I'll sit against the wall. Make do for one night. You'll be safe with me here. Go sleep, miss." This infuriated Wu Xiaoyan. Is he even a man? How can he put up with this? At dawn, Yun finished the shopping early and then said he'd find a decent family to take Wu Xiaoyan in. Wu Xiaoyan pounced, tugging at him pitifully. "Young master, are you sending me away?" Reluctantly, Yun pulled her into an alley. "You heard yesterday. I'm from the 9 Nether Demons sect. That place isn't suitable for a naive girl like you. I'm looking out for you. I'm different from them. My plan is to buy my freedom from the kitchen and then take the Nine Heavens sect entrance exam at year-end. Although Wu Xian wouldn't let him run away, she put on a pitiful act. Master, I don't want to go anywhere but by your side. He Yin refused firmly. Demonic cult folks kill without blinking. Everyone's crazy. I'd be living on eggshells there. Wu Xian suddenly gripped his arm. Master, I heard the cult forbids killing fellow disciples. At least I won't be in mortal danger. I'm in debt collector's crosshairs. Hiding in the cult is safer. Please don't abandon me. He Yin couldn't bear to see her tears. She was that pitiful, heart-rending, and guilt-inducing. In the end, He Yin had no choice but to nod and agree. But it has to be approved by the kitchen steward. If he refuses, I'll have to send you off the mountain. Unexpectedly, Master agreed on the spot and said the kitchen was short-handed. You can take him. I'm off to pickle vegetables. With that, the old man left without looking back, leaving He Yin bewildered. He hadn't expected it to be so easy. After recovering his wits, He Yin said again, then, welcome to the Nine-Nethered Demon Sect kitchen. Fang Yin, watching in secret, finally breathed a sigh of relief. The cult leader's infiltration went smoothly. Time to move to the next phase. Night soon fell. The demon sect lay silent. Wu Xian quietly rose from her bed, spreading her spiritual sense through the compound. When she sensed snores from every kitchen room, she resumed her true form, the cult leader of the Nine-Nether sect, and leapt onto the roof. Elder Fang Yin was already waiting there. Rumors that the eternal soul pearl is in He Yun's hands are spreading. The spies hidden in the sect will move soon. Meanwhile, He Yin stepped out of his room. Sleepy as he was, he figured he should collect more spirit beads. After burning 50 million, he felt uneasy. After hearing the report, Wu Xian nodded slightly. In the next few days, give the eternal soul pearl to He Yin. Don't let him suspect anything. Could you Bo have taught him a technique? When he saved me from the bandits, his aura was clearly late foundation stage. But that night, when I slept with him, what the ancients coyly called sharing clouds and rain, he had no spiritual power at all. Immortal, did you Bo teach him a cultivation art that hides one's level? Meanwhile, He Yin was busy picking spirit fruits to make more spirit beads. The noise he made drew Wu Xian's attention. She dismissed the elder, about to slip back to her quarters. But suddenly the drunken spring wind poison in her veins flared up. Damn it, of all times now. Her body went limp, and she fell heavily into the grass beside He Yin. Seeing her, He Yin froze. Crap, it's that witch from the 10,000 Insects Valley again. Without hesitation, he turned to run, but Wu Xian effortlessly caught him. Well, little one, we meet again. Wandering around at midnight? What's wrong, Mr. Big Sister? Having learned his lesson, He Yin simply lay flat in surrender. Senior sister, you're not sleeping either. Planning to torture me again tonight? Go ahead. Wu Xian only chuckled softly. He Yin groaned. What's so funny? Laughing because I can't beat you. Wu Xian pressed her pretty face close, pinning him down. I'm laughing because fate keeps throwing us together. But He Yin wasn't buying it. Enough chatter. You don't have much time. I'm late foundation stage now too. Don't make me fight back. Wu Xian giggled. Oh, so even your outer body, a clone-type cultivation technique, can't last long tonight. He Yin grinned confidently. I'll surpass your cultivation soon enough. Then you'll be the one underneath. Wu Xian blinked in surprise, then realized this man was unexpectedly entertaining. She seized his robe again and tore it open. A sly smile curved her lips. Brat, I'll be waiting. After a long, intense night, what the ancients poetically called a night on Mount Wu, symbolizing lovers intertwined, Wu Xian glanced at He Yin in mild surprise. After that, you're still awake? I'm genuinely looking forward to seeing you surpass me. He Yin, pitiful and exhausted, asked, Can you take out the parasite in my body now? If you're using me as medicine, just say so. You don't have to force it every time. Wu Xian shook her head. No, I'm paranoid. I like to leave something behind. As long as you stay pure, the goo insect will remain dormant. Taking it out or not, it makes no difference. At last, Heian finally saw Wu Xiaoyan's face clearly. He couldn't help but exclaim, "Senior sister, you're actually pretty. Don't keep your hair over your eyes. It makes you look like a ghost." Wu Xiaoyan's cheeks flushed instantly. She spun around. "Even if I've slept with you, what cultivators coyly call dual cultivation, blending energy and passion, that doesn't mean you can get cheeky. And don't tell anyone about us. Don't even say you've met me. If you leak a single word, next time I'll make you ascend to heaven early." With a graceful wave of her hand, she vanished before his eyes. Ian finally exhaled a long breath of relief. But the sight before him made his jaw drop. Wait, why are there so many spirit beads here? Without hesitation, he dove toward them. His system display flooded with updates. 10,000 points gained, plus a bonus adventure fragment. Ian grinned. A chance encounter, huh? Maybe it's linked to her. Guess I should, meet her a few more times. Too bad I forgot to ask her name. At dawn, his master called him urgently. "Come, meet one of our elders." "Elder, this disciple's best at growing vegetables. Let him handle it." Elder Fong, Ian gave a cold nod. The cult leader is coming out of seclusion. This is her favorite plant seed. Only one grows every 100 years. She handed over a shimmering orb, the eternal soul pearl, Changming Pe, a sacred core said to hold endless life energy. Ian froze, not daring to take it. Fong Yin smiled faintly. "Guard and cultivate it well. Lose or damage it, and you can prepare for your glorious end. Remember, if anything happens, 10 lives won't be enough to pay for it." Trembling, Ian accepted the pearl. He didn't dare be careless, picking the richest patch of soil and planting the seed carefully. Just then, Wu Xiaoyan, now in her youthful disguise, walked up. "Brother Heian, are you planting vegetables?" Heian forced a laugh, trying not to give anything away. "Yeah, that's right." Under Fong Yin's warning, he dared not say more. "Just loosening the soil, maybe take some back for new crops." Wu Xiaoyan covered her mouth, giggling. "Then let me help, Brother Heian." Thus the mighty cult leader and the kitchen hand toiled side by side. Soon, they had a basket full of vegetables. Heian nodded. "All right, time to go back and cook for everyone." As he turned, he suddenly bumped chest first into a green-robed senior sister. Realizing what happened, Heian quickly asked, "Are you all right, fellow disciple?" Inside, he panicked. "Crap, I just ran into another demon sect woman. She's not going to kill me, is she?" Thankfully, this green-robed sister seemed different. She brushed back her hair and smiled faintly, showing she was fine. Wu Xiaoyan, noticing the dazed look in Heian's eyes, pinched his waist hard. With a half-smile, she said, "What's with that look? Don't tell me you're staring at her." Heian grinned sheepishly. She didn't hit anyone. Wu Xiaoyan was speechless. "It was an accident. Why would she hit you?" Heian grew serious. "You're new to the Nine Nether sect. You don't know how terrifying this place can be. I grew up here. I've seen disciples fight to the death over a chicken leg, and female disciples brawl over cheap rouge. Remember, demon sect people don't think straight. They won't reason with you. Even trivial things can turn into life and death battles. As long as you don't die, you're not breaking the rules. So if you meet them, keep your distance, got it? I was the one who brought you into the demon sect. It's my responsibility. Once I save enough to buy my freedom, I'll take you to join the righteous sections." Hearing this, Wu Xiaoyan put on an innocent face. "Really? I can't wait. Brother Heian, you're so dependable." But inwardly she sneered. "My plaything dares dream of leaving? You're mine, alive or dead." Moments earlier, Wu Shen had learned that once Heian earned enough money to redeem himself, he planned to leave the sect. Returning to the kitchen, she hinted, "Master C, I've been here for days doing nothing. It makes me uneasy. Do you have any work for me?" The old man gulped, then forced a laugh. "No, nothing much." Wu Xiaoyan's expression darkened. "So, I'm just freeloading then." Heian quickly interjected. "Master, why not let little Wu Shan give me a hand? I've started cooking recently. Someone's out to chop the vegetables." Siyuban nodded eagerly. "Good idea." The decision clearly pleased Wu Xiaoyan. Just then, a woman in green entered the kitchen. "Master C, My teacher is hosting guests tonight. We'll need a chef at the Hall of Joy. Ian instantly recognized her, the same woman he'd bumped into at the garden gate. See you, boss, stroked his chin. The sect master of the Shun branch likes spicy food. Let me see who's suitable. The woman's eyes caught Hee-yun. Why not let this young chef handle it, she suggested. What's wrong? Don't want to. Hee-yun waved his hands nervously. It's not that. I've just started cooking. I'm not worthy to cook for a sect master yet. The woman smiled. It's settled then. I'll wait in the courtyard. Soon Hee-yun and Wu Xiaoyan followed her to the Hall of Joy, but the moans and cries echoing around made him uneasy. The woman chuckled. The hall's mistress practices Hahuan arts, a dual cultivation method focusing on shared pleasure and spiritual exchange. Didn't you know? He enforced an awkward smile. I've heard rumors. In broad daylight, though, these people are shameless, he thought. Soon they reached the back kitchen. The woman patted Wu Xiaoyan's head. Little one, prep the greens here. I'll take our young chef to the wine cellar to fetch the sect master's drink. She turned with a faint smile. This way, young chef. After the two left, Wu Xiaoyan sighed softly. A collision in the garden, a convenient excuse to make him the chef. And now she's taking him to the cellar. Either that's fate, or is set up too perfect to be coincidence. Scene shift, underground wine cellar. After walking for a while, the woman lifted her lantern toward him. Young chef, could you hold this for me? Then, with practiced ease, she opened a nearby door. As he stepped inside, she swiftly locked it behind them. He turned around. Sister Ding, there's so much wine here. How much are we supposed to take? But the woman smiled mysteriously and released a cloud of glowing butterflies from her spiritual energy. No rush, young chef. We have plenty of time. The moment the butterflies brushed against him, Hee-yun felt his legs go weak. The woman moved closer, her face inches from his. But something felt off. He should have fallen under my spell. The Hahuan technique. Why isn't it working? Meanwhile, Hee-yun realized, why is she touching my chin? Wait, does she want to dual cultivate with me? With that thought, the woman intensified her energy output. The fumes made Hee-yun cough violently. Damn it. She's making me breathe her second-hand spiritual smoke. Seeing him hacking and coughing, the woman froze. What the? He's immune. Strong minds are hard to control. I'm missing a trigger. Looks like I'll have to use my charms and awaken that shadow, she thought. With that, the woman lunged close, panting softly. Little chef, it's just you and me here. Why not let sparks fly? Seeing she was serious, Hee-yun backed away fast. Sister Ding, I haven't learned your basic techniques. Dual cultivation, the intimacy-based practice, won't work for me. I might die. If I drop dead here, you'll never explain away. She ignored him. Fellow disciple, am I beautiful? Hee-yun nodded helplessly, though he had zero interest. Beautiful, my foot. That smoke was your Hall of Joy trick, wasn't it? The witch from 10,000 Insects Valley already drained me dry. I'm beyond worldly desire. She pressed onto him. Why are you so stiff? Shy, or do you dislike me? Unmoved, Hee-yun asked, Sister Ding, where's the wine? That stung. Here at the Hall of Joy, seniors only chase cultivation, never sincerity. I want your heart. Hee-yun finally snapped, tossing her aside. It's not that I refuse to dual cultivate. I literally can't. Find someone else. He pivoted. What wine does Master Shin prefer? Help me find it. And a jar of huadiao for soup. She blurted out this soul-piercing question. Little chef, are you a virgin? Hee-yun's face fell. Too personal. I can't answer. She, meanwhile, calculated. His knees buckled. He did inhale the Hahuan fumes. But even with more allure, he didn't budge. The Hahuan technique must be failing. Only a truly pure-minded person resists the Hahuan arts. Is he actually a good man? Just then, a flash of gold stole Hee-yun's attention. Hidden among the wine jars was a golden spirit bead. Jackpot. He collected it. Plus 5,000 points and a chance encounter reward. 2 adventure fragments added. He stood up. Sister Ding, where's the wine you mentioned? She just stared at him, so he asked again, aren't we here for wine? Resigned. She took his arm. This way. She grabbed a jar. My master can hold her liquor. You carry 2 more. They left the cellar, but the woman's doubts deepened. Why the sudden rumor that the eternal soul pearl is with him? A smokescreen? If the Hahuan arts can't sway him, his mind is too pure. He's not suited for the Nine Nether sect. Something's off. I'll get to the bottom of it. Yin, meanwhile, thought. 3 fragments now. One more chance encounter, and I might synthesize a talent. Seems chance means doing things outside my routine. Ding Ning must have used the Hahuan arts, otherwise my legs wouldn't have gone weak. That was outside my routine. Then I found a golden spirit bead and triggered chance. Conclusion: if I just stay in the kitchen and never open new maps or events, chance encounters will be rare. He followed Ding Ning back to the kitchen. After setting down the wine, she reminded him dishes start going out at the dog hour, around 7 to 9 p.m. Don't forget. Got it, Sister Ding. Leave it to us. Hearing the noise, Wu Xian stepped out. Brother Hiyun, you're back. Ding Ning checked the time. I'll leave you to it. At the door, she turned back. I think you're a good man. Let's go on an outing in 2 days. Hiyun agreed on the spot. An outing means a new map. With a no-killing fellow disciples rule, I'll be safe. Plus, thanks to that witch's goo parasite, the Hahuan arts won't work on me anyway. Net positive. I'm going. Wu Xian fumed silently. You little brat. Dare to accept another woman's invite? Ding Ning beamed. It's settled. I'll come to the kitchen in 2 days. Watching Wu Xian stomp off in a huff, Hiyun called after her, Little Wu Shan, want to come too? Wu Xian snatched up her cleaver and chopped a carrot clean in half. No, she didn't invite me, she said coldly. Then the blade flew, dancing over the board. Hiyun's focus shifted. Already done prepping? That was fast. Didn't expect you to be this good. Wu Xian was furious at Hiyun's casual attitude. Seriously, can't you tell I'm in a bad mood? If it weren't for the risk of blowing my cover, I'd execute you on the spot, she thought. But Hiyun didn't notice a thing. He just turned to the stove. You've worked hard. Let me handle the stir-fry. After some busy cooking, the two returned to the kitchen quarters. Wu Xian's loud slam of the door immediately made Master Si Yuba sense danger in the air. Disciple, he asked quickly, what did you do to her? He sighed. No idea. She's been wearing that stormy face the whole way back. The old man patted his shoulder helplessly. Young man, you're on your own now. Inside her room, Wu Xian was practically shaking with anger. How did I end up with such an oblivious idiot? Just then, creak, the window slid open. A cheerful voice called out, My lady, I'm here. A second later, Fang Ying got stuck halfway through the window frame. Wu Xian sighed. You're the acting sect master's assistant. Can you try acting like one? Enough theatrics. Fang Ying kept playing it up. I heard your call, my lady, and rushed right over. Wu Xian grabbed the hem of her dress, stuck in the frame. No one followed you, right? Fang Ying shook her head. All clear. So what's the order, my lady? Who's dying? Which sect are we destroying this time? Do you know Ding Ning from a Hall of Joy? Fang Ying thought for a moment. Yes, she's the favored disciple of Master Shun. Joined at least 10 years ago. You suspect her identity? Wu Xian nodded slightly. No proof yet. Look into it. I want to know what's really happening inside the Nine Nether Hall. Fang Ying hesitated. But the Eternal Soul Pearl is your most precious relic. Are you truly at ease letting Hiyun keep it? Wu Xian waved off the concern. Even if it's stolen, it's useless to outsiders. No one knows what it really is, unless it falls into the hands of that immortal freak from the Nine Heavens sect. Meanwhile, Hiyun stared at the Eternal Soul Pearl in confusion. Is this really a seed? He muttered. Still, he followed orders, burying in a flower pot. Whatever the acting sect master says goes. Then a new problem hit him. Where should he keep something this important? He couldn't just toss it anywhere. After a moment's thought, inspiration struck. The most dangerous place is the safest. He grinned, putting it in a flower pot by the window. Totally reasonable. Besides, he muttered, who in the demon sect would be bored enough to steal the sect leader's vegetables? Satisfied, he stopped overthinking and collapsed onto his bed. The next morning, the kitchen crew was already bustling around. As promised, Ding Ning arrived bright and early, greeting Hiyun with a radiant smile. Master Si, I invited little chef, he, for a short outing. May I borrow him? See you, Ba just pointed at Hiyun. Ask him yourself. Without hesitation, Hiyun nodded. Sure, let's go. Watching him leave with Ding Ning, See Yu Ba leaned closer to whisper, My lady, aren't you going too? Wu Xiaoyan's face darkened instantly. Could this man choose a worse time to ask? Go crash their date? No thanks. She turned away, fuming. Forget it. I'm going back to sleep. Scene shift. Hiyun and Ding Ning reached a secluded area within the sect. The place was lovely, sunlight filtering through trees. Nice weather, Ding Ning smiled. Let's just relax and enjoy it. Hiyun, however, had only one thing on his mind. Spirit beads, chance encounters. Where are you hiding? Ding Ning, growing impatient, patted the grass beside her. Little chef, sit down already. Don't your legs hurt? Come, sit next to me. Hiyun sighed. Sister Ding, are you really inviting me out because I'm a nice guy? Honestly, in this sect, believing a demon's words would make me the real idiot. Whatever you've got in mind, just say it, Hiyun offered calmly. If I can cooperate, I will. If I can't, well, I can't. Ding Ning stopped pretending and leaned in close. That day, I used the Hawan art on you, yet you showed no reaction. That means your mind is pure. The Hawan art works best when both hearts respond. When it's mutual, dual cultivation becomes meaningful. She gazed at him. I asked you out, and you didn't refuse. Doesn't that mean you have feelings for me too? Since the man is willing and the woman is moved, why not rise together to bliss and pleasure? Hiyun, however, looked thoroughly unimpressed. Sister Ding, that's a bit too standard. Got anything special? You know, something I haven't seen before. At that, Ding Ning's smile froze. So he's not innocent after all. Figures. No one in the demon sect is clean. He must have thought the wine cellar wasn't depraved enough. Now he wants something wilder. Hiyun's thoughts, however, were entirely different. This could be another chance encounter. As long as I trigger an event, maybe I'll earn a reward. And since I literally don't have that function, whatever she does doesn't matter. Misreading completely, Ding Ning whispered eagerly. Junior, however twisted your taste, senior sister can oblige. Hiyun blinked. I don't have much experience, so I'll follow your lead. Ding Ning smiled sweetly, but inside, her decision was made. If he wants perversion, I'll give him perversion. She stood up slowly. You're quite amusing, little chef. Wait here. I need to prepare. Her hand slid along her robe as she searched for something. Then she drew out a long crimson thread. Wrapping it between her fingers, she smiled seductively. Do you want to play with this? Hiyun's eyes lit up. Now, this is interesting. Definitely a rare skill. Jackpot incoming. Seeing his delighted expression, Ding Ning sneered inwardly. Typical demon sect scum, lecherous and vile to the bone. Then she flicked her wrist, and the red thread shot forward, binding Hiyun tightly in an instant. From the shadows, Wu Xiaoyan ground her teeth in rage. That little bastard. He's already my man, and he's out here playing around, and with tricks this indecent? Her mind seethed. Unforgivable. Punishable by death. No, by eternal damnation. Meanwhile, Ding Ning squatted beside the bound Hiyun, her tone dripping with honey. Junior, do you want something even kinkier? Hiyun nodded without hesitation. Why is it still so quiet? Is bondage this common in this era? Right, she's from the Hall of Joy. Rope tricks are probably standard practice there. Sister Ding, he declared solemnly, I'm ready. I've emptied my mind and will devote myself entirely to you. Go ahead. He lay there, tied up like a loyal offering to fate. Ding Ning burst into laughter. You're hilarious. Had I known you liked this sort of thing, I'd have told you in the wine cellar. Up on the hill, Wu Xiaoyan's face darkened as she watched Ding Ning's hands roam. Already? She's starting already? What are they even saying down there? I can't hear a word. And that idiot's expression, so shameless. Even when we were together, he wasn't that obscene. Seeing the timing was perfect, Ding Ning stood and smiled faintly. Junior, I'm coming. She gathered her spiritual energy, her eyes gleaming coldly. Soft intonation, third form, voice of desire. It forces those of weaker cultivation to speak their truth. One breath, and he'll lose control. A streak of violet aura is shot toward Hiyun. The instant it entered his body, his mind went foggy, his gaze unfocused. "Where am I?" he murmured. Ding Ning giggled. "We're in paradise, my dear junior. Now, do you have any secrets you haven't told me? If you share them, Big Sister has special games for you." "Oh, I've got plenty of secrets," Hiyun replied cheerfully. "Let me tell you all of them. My name's Hiyun. I might be from another world, or maybe not. Anyway, I was sold to the demon sect as a kid, but I got a heart of pure justice. I'll climb my way up and join the righteous sects one day. I'm a good guy." Ding Ning finally snapped. "Enough. That's not the kind of secret I meant. What nonsense are you spouting? I want something deeper, like, say, the Eternal Soul Pearl." Hiyun blinked. I've never been to an Eternal Soul Pearl." She stared at him, dumbfounded. "Are you playing dumb with me?" Up in the shadows, Wu Xiaoyan nearly exploded. "That shameless pervert. Can't use the lower half, so he's using his mouth? Truly innovative. Should I applaud or kill him?" Just then, a sharp pain pierced her chest. Even as she fought to hold it in, blood, thick and crimson, spilled from her lips. She felt her knees, gasping. Not again. The flower moon drunken spell from Tai Su Xiao, combined with spring wind intoxication. Cursed double poison, random triggers, unpredictable pain, vile old monsters. When I recover, I'll make them pay, one by one. The stabbing agony in her chest made her vision blur. Meanwhile, Hiyun finally came to. "Sister Ding? What just happened?" He looked up to find her face pale and trembling. "Sister Ding, are you okay?" Ding Ning lost control. "Who are you? Who the hell are you?" Dizzy from all the shaking, Hiyun shoved her back instinctively. "Stop, my head's spinning." But she wouldn't let up. "Where's the Eternal Soul Pearl? Tell me." Hiyun sighed. "What the hell is going on? I came out looking for a chance encounter, and all I found was a lunatic accusing me of, what, theft?" He stood up, dusting himself off. "Sister Ding, we clearly don't click. Let's just call it a day, yeah?" The moment Ding Ning saw him turn to leave, her eyes went cold. "He heard me mention the Eternal Soul Pearl. I can't let him walk away." Without hesitation, she leapt forward, blade flashing toward Hiyun's throat. But before her strike could land, a pebble whizzed out from the forest, hitting her squarely in the forehead. The blow halted her mid-attack. Ding Ning froze. Someone's protecting him. Wait, what if he never fell for my charm spell at all? What if everything was an act? This brat, Ding Ning thought grimly from the shadows. So he's no kitchen boy at all. The rumor about the Eternal Soul Pearl being with him, completely baseless. Can't blow my cover today. I'll settle the score later. Meanwhile, Hiyun blinked at the empty clearing. Wow, people from the Hall of Joy really are transactional. No dual cultivation, no benefits, and boom, they're gone. Not even a goodbye. He looked around the forest. Still, I can't just go back empty-handed. Haven't explored this area yet. Might be a few spirit orbs lying around. Time for some serious farming. But just as he rolled up his sleeves, something rustled in the distance. Having learned from experience, he dropped into a low stance, creeping forward. "Sister Ding? That you? Thought you left." But when he peeked through the grass, the one on the ground wasn't Ding Ning. It was Wu Xiaoyan, his dear little volcano. Hiyun froze. Crap, she's been tailing me this whole time, hasn't she? Wherever I go, boom, there she is. He crouched down, concerned. "Hey, you okay?" Wu Xiaoyan glared up at him. "Didn't I tell you to get lost?" Hiyun instantly stopped. All right, I'm gone. Honestly, I'd love to. Otherwise, she'll drain me dry again. You seem fine, so I'll head out." As he turned away, Wu Xiaoyan's lip trembled. "You just leave? I just saved your life. If not for me, Ding Ning would have killed you, you ungrateful bastard." But Hiyun couldn't bring himself to walk off. He turned back with a sigh. Fine, I'm not leaving." Helping her up, he muttered, "If you die, what happens to the poison bug in my body?" Wu Xiaoyan flared. "Don't pretend you care about me." Hiyun insisted, "Hey, we don't have beef. You've been feeding me and haven't taken advantage of me. Least I can do is make sure you're not dying. Come on, let me help." She snapped back instantly. Save your pity. I don't need you anymore. I'm sick of you. He sighed. All right then. Let's just call it even. I won't bother you or ask about removing the bug. But the moment he turned to leave, Wu Xian staggered and coughed up a mouthful of blood, deep red, spraying across the grass like spilled paint. The sound of her collapsing made Heian stop in his tracks. Heian let out a long sigh. Seriously, can you not? Pretending to faint again. Wu Xian just lay there like a corpse, not responding. Come on, this isn't our first time dealing with this, he muttered helplessly. Let's finish this quickly. Why do you always act so stubborn? Like you've got something to prove. Look, I don't even want to help you, but my conscience won't let me ignore it. Aside from that one time, you've never really hurt me. I can't just let you die here, not right in front of me. With a grunt, Heian reached down and pulled her up. Wu Xian glared at him. Aren't you afraid I'll kill you if you make me mad? Heian only smirked. You're the one on the verge of collapsing, not me. She finally dropped her pride. Enough talk. Just do it, she said coldly. Heian tilted her chin upward, a spark of defiance flickering in his eyes. Her proud, witch-like attitude triggered something in him. Since you're the one asking, he said, you take the lead. Your life's in your own hands. Don't blame me later. As the leader of the cult, Wu Xian could hardly bear such humiliation. Yet to suppress the venom surging inside her, she swallowed her pride and began channeling her spiritual energy at full speed. Heian frowned. Why stay silent like that? You need to breathe and relax, you know. Her face flushed with both anger and embarrassment. She snapped, grabbing him by the throat. Shut up. One more word, and I'll strangle you. Instead of panicking, Heian gave a sly grin. Oh, didn't think you were into this kind of thing. After a fierce struggle, the poison raging in Wu Xian's body was finally suppressed. Yet this time, she sensed that Heian's physical strength had grown unusually powerful. And as the toxin subsided, her body began to shrink again, back into a younger form. Meanwhile, Heian roasted fish by the campfire, feeling a bit annoyed. Half a day wasted again. Gotta collect more spirit orbs tonight. Maybe I'll trigger another special event. We turned around. Wu Xian was gone. Wait, she just left? No goodbye. Wamai, her disposable toy. Shrugging it off, he bit into his freshly grilled fish. Your loss. More for me. Then the familiar system chime echoed in his head. You've been awarded 2 fate fragments. You now have 5 in total. Would you like to synthesize a new talent? Without hesitation, Heian tapped yes. The fragments floated up from the void and fused together in a swirl of light. Congratulations, young Master Yun, the system announced. You've obtained the talent. Corpse explosion, effective radius, 2 meters. Heian groaned. Seriously? Corpse explosion? Couldn't sound more evil if it tried. How am I supposed to join the righteous sects with a skill like that? Still, he had to admit it was useful. Perfect for wiping out evidence, he mused. In worst case, it doubles as a bomb. Whatever, more skills, more options. Let's see what I've got now. The status panel blinked to life. Level 20, points, 50 million. Talent 1, double lives. Talent 2, corpse explosion. He stretched lazily. No time to slack off. Back to farming spirit orbs. With a deep breath, he released the energy built up inside him, extinguishing the campfire in a single pulse. Then, without looking back, he strode into the dark forest. After trekking for a while, something glimmered ahead. Countless spirit orbs floated among the trees, lighting up the jungle like fireflies. Heian grinned and entered full harvest mode, collecting them all like a man possessed. System, tally it up, he ordered. Congratulations, young Master Yun, the system replied. You've gained 1 million points in a single haul. Achievement unlocked. You are awarded 2 additional fate fragments. As Heian basked in the thrill of his profitable trip, a low growl rumbled behind him. Several demonic wolves were closing in. Heian sighed. Knew it. Nothing good ever comes for free. No choice then. I'm not dying here. System, boost me straight to level 60. In an instant, a surge of spiritual power erupted from within him, flooding the air around. His level skyrocketed to 60 in the blink of an eye. As the demonic wolves lunged toward Heian, They came at him in perfect sync, fangs bared, eyes glowing red. To Hee-yun, though, their movements looked almost slow motion. With a casual punch, he shattered one wolf's skull into a mist of blood. He pivoted smoothly, his next strike blowing apart a second beast. The three wolves didn't stand a chance against his newly boosted power. His punch sent one flying straight back into the pack, breaking their charge like bowling pins scattering. Corpse explosion, ignite. He embarked, voice like thunder. Instantly, the fallen wolves detonated in bursts of crimson light. As more corpses piled up, Hee-yun grinned wildly and spammed the skill over and over. With his current level, these low-tier beasts weren't even worth his time. When the last howl faded, the system chimed in cheerfully. Congratulations, young Master Yun. First successful use of corpse explosion. 200 night wolves eliminated. You earned 200,000 points and one fate fragment. Hee-yun blinked, then laughed. Huh, this system's better than I thought. I'm starting to like you, buddy. Suddenly, the air grew heavy. An oppressive aura swept through the forest. From the shadows emerged a massive wolf, its fur jet black and its forehead glowing with a blood-red sigil. Level 30, Night Wolf Alpha, the system warned. The beast roared, activating its innate skill, Battle Howl, sending shockwaves through the trees. Hee-yun's heart tightened for a second, but when he saw the number hovering over its head, he smirked. If I were still level 20, I'd be toast right now. But unlucky for you, pal. I'm level 60. He cracked his knuckles, grinning. 2 talents stacked. Let's stop holding back. The Night Wolf Alpha knew nothing of Hee-yun's true strength. It charged, earth shaking beneath its claws, jaws wide to tear him apart. But with a 30-level gap, Hee-yun didn't even flinch. He raised his hand and simply flicked his finger. A shockwave burst forth. Without a weapon, without even channeling energy, the flick alone sent the Alpha flying through the air like a rag doll. Congratulations, Master Yun. Boss defeated effortlessly, the system chimed. The system chimed. Congratulations, young Master Yun, for defeating the Yelong chief with ease. Hee-yun smiled with satisfaction, quietly waiting for his reward. Yet nothing happened. He groaned. Hey, shouldn't you be saying congratulations, young Master Yun? 2 adventure shards awarded? Can't even handle a compliment, can you? Fine, I'll just check his body myself. Though he had killed the chief, there was no loot notification, so he decided to loot him manually. To his surprise, the chief dropped a spirit orb he had never seen before. A crimson one. System notice. Score plus 300,000 points. Adventure triggered. 2 adventure shards granted. Friendly reminder. Would young Master Yun like to synthesize a new talent? He sighed. Next time, don't ask. Just do it. 2 shards appeared from the void and instantly merged together. New talent acquired. Know It All, which allows 2 information queries per day. Realizing this talent could literally search for anything, Hee-yun nodded in approval. With no other presence nearby and dawn approaching, he decided to rest. By the time he returned to the kitchen quarters, the sun was already up. He was watering the seed that the cult leader had given him, muttering, "Can this thing really sprout?" Suddenly, the air was filled with the smell of herbal medicine. He looked over and saw his master boiling a pot of medicine. "Master, are you sick?" Chiyubo turned and replied, "No, not me. Since you're here, watch the fire. This is for little Wushan. She's ill. Once it's done, take it to her." Hee-yun was startled. "She's sick? What kind of illness?" Chiyubo said flatly, "Just a common cold," but silently grumbled, "It's clearly the spring fever relapse. Her internal injury still hasn't healed, and it's your fault for not having enough stamina." Still, he couldn't help noticing something odd about the boy. His complexion was getting better by the day. After what the cult leader put him through, he should have been half dead. "Don't tell me. It was she who got drained instead?" As Ian finished the medicine and prepared to deliver it, Chiyubo sighed to himself. "Ah, youth really is resilient. Should have trained more when I was his age." The door to Wu Xiaoyan's room remained shut. No matter how many times he had knocked, there was no response. "Little Wu Shan, it's Hee-yun. I've brought your medicine." After waiting for a long time with no response, Hee-yun finally sighed and pushed the door open. Inside, he found Wu Xiaoyan, now reverted to her childlike form, still fast asleep. She lay there motionless, her breathing shallow. Ian quickly set down the bowl of medicine. Leaning over, he touched her forehead and his expression tightened. Damn, she's burning up. This isn't just a cold. That's a full-on fever. At that moment, Wu Xiaoyan slowly opened her eyes and murmured weakly, "Ian, my medicine." He hesitated. "But this is just a remedy for chills. Will it even work?" Yet when she kept insisting, he could only sigh helplessly. Carefully, he helped her sit up and fed her the medicine himself. Whether from weakness or embarrassment, half the bowl spilled over her chest. Ian froze, mentally screaming, "Don't look! Don't look! A man should have some manners too." He quickly took out a cloth, gently wiped the spilled medicine off her robe, and comforted her softly. "Rest well. I'll go pick some herbs to lower your fever." Watching his back as he left, Wu Xiaoyan frowned in confusion. This guy, his aura feels completely different. Stronger. At least 50 levels higher. How is that possible? Meanwhile, Ian arrived at the back mountain, skillfully identifying herbs. An easy task for him now. But just as he bent down to pick one, the corner of his eye caught a familiar silhouette. Faint, yet unmistakably someone he knew. When Ian saw who it was, he grinned. "Oh, it's you. Why'd you leave so suddenly yesterday? I didn't even get to thank you." Ding Ning blinked. "Thank me? For what? Next time you find somewhere fun to go, take me with you." Ding Ning thought this guy must have lost his mind. Still, she pressed on. "The eternal soul. It's in your hands, isn't it?" He inside. Eternal slope? That doesn't sound right. Must be some kind of relic or something. You've asked me twice already. He tilted his head. "Senior sister, what exactly is that thing you're talking about?" Ding Ning's patience snapped. "Are you mocking me?" Yin frowned. "I really don't get what you're saying." Then, without another word, he activated Know-It-All to check her information. Ding Ning, age 18, disciple of the Pleasure Pavilion, undercover disciple of the Taisu sect, level 29, talent, heartstrings of 1,000 turns. Objective, locate the eternal soul. Oh, so it is the soul, not a slope. Definitely sounds like a relic. Ian was surprised. She's from the righteous sects? Then why is she after me? Just because of that artifact? I'm only a kitchen hand, for crying out loud. She's only level 29, no real threat. But if I kill her by accident, it'll mess up my future chances of joining the righteous side. So he kept pretending. Senior Sister Ding, maybe you can explain clearer? I really don't get it. Ding Ning's eyes narrowed. I've scouted this whole area. No one else around. This idiot isn't as dumb as he looks. Time to use force. In a flash, she lunged and gripped Hyun's throat, her voice sharp and cold. Stop pretending. Hand over the eternal soul, and I'll let you live. Hyun smirked. And if I really hand it over, you'll actually let me go? Ding Ning smiled faintly. Of course, as long as you cooperate. Hyun's expression hardened. A disciple of the Taisu sect sparing a demon cult member? You expect me to believe that? Ding Ning's face went pale. How do you know who I am? Hyun didn't bother answering. He caught her wrist and twisted. A loud crack echoed through the air. Ding Ning screamed in pain and stumbled backward, putting distance between them. Your strength. How can it be this strong? Hyun smiled faintly. Didn't I say I owed you for that trip? If you hadn't taken me out there, I wouldn't have stumbled into that opportunity or made a fortune. Ding Ning gritted her teeth and raised her arm just in time to block Hyun's incoming punch. But with such a massive gap in cultivation, Ding Ning's resistance was utterly pointless, like a mantis trying to block a cart. The next moment, spirit energy burst from Hyun's fist like a crashing tide, piercing straight through her chest. The force sent her body flying over 10 meters before it slammed into the ground. Hyun looked down at her coldly. You weren't afraid of being seen. Why should I be? Moments later, he confirmed her life force had vanished. Yet he didn't leave. Instead, he muttered, perfect chance to test my new spell, Corpse Explosion. As the technique activated, Ding Ning's body detonated into dust, leaving no trace behind. Gazing at the clean crater before him, Hyun smiled faintly. Now that's clean. Much safer this way. However, The entire scene had already been witnessed by Wu Xiaoyan and Fang Yin from afar. Fang Yin frowned. "My lord, we just confirmed Ding Ning was an undercover agent from the Taisu sect. How'd he find out?" Wu Xiaoyan's eyes glimmered. "That's not what matters. What interests me is his strength, and that spell he just used. That boy's got something strange about him, but he's decisive. Fits right in with our cult. Efficient, ruthless, and clever enough to erase the evidence." "Good." Turning away, Wu Xiaoyan's tone grew colder. "Tell Chi Yubo to teach him real techniques. Let him access the scrolls in the archive pavilion as well." Her gaze darkened. "And since Ding Ning has vanished, the Taisu spies hiding in our ranks won't be able to sit still. Find them all and kill without mercy." Fang Yin immediately nodded. "Understood, my lord. I'll make sure everything you commanded is done properly." "Master, wait. Don't walk so fast," Fang Yin called out, running after her with a playful tone. Meanwhile, Hien thought he heard faint voices in the distance. His heart skipped a beat. "Crap, did someone see me?" He sighed quietly. "What shame about Ding Ning. She didn't even get to show me the fun places she promised." Before long, he finished collecting the herbs for the fever medicine and called out cheerfully, "Master, I'm back. I'll brew the fever remedy for little Wu Shan." But when he stepped into the kitchen, he froze. Wu Xiaoyan was already fully recovered and working energetically. She looked over and smiled. "Your master's medicine worked instantly. I'm fine now." Hien chuckled helplessly. "Master, your decoction deserves a heritage award. A cold remedy that cures fever too? Looks like all the herbs I picked were for nothing. Guess I'll just dry them out for next time," he said, crouching down to spread the herbs evenly. But just as he finished, heavy footsteps approached from outside. Several people burst in, radiating hostility. Leading them was Qian Shui, a disciple of the Pleasure Pavilion, his face arrogant as he shouted, "Kitchen steward, come out here now." Hearing this, Chi Yubo hurried out with a group of kitchen disciples and said, "What's the matter?" After recognizing who they were, Chi Yubo fawningly said, "So it's the young lords and ladies of the Pleasure Pavilion. What can we do for you? Was the kitchen fare not to your taste?" But Tian Shui directly drew the sword at his waist and set the blade at Hiyun's neck, barking, "Hiyun, you killed my junior sister Ding Ning. You should know the rules of the Nine Nether Hall. Kill a fellow disciple, and you must pay with your life. Steward, be my witness. I will execute him." Although the matter seemed exposed, Hiyun remained unruffled and countered, "I'm just a cook. Could I really kill a disciple of your Pleasure Pavilion? You're giving me too much credit." But Tian Shui wouldn't hear his sophistry. "Junior Sister Ding said before leaving that she was coming to find you, but now she hasn't returned. We searched the whole district. It must be your doing." While Hien simply spread his hands to show innocence. "Come on. Even if I did something, you can't jump straight to accusing me of murder. Still, it's reasonable you suspect me. After all, we're all from the demon cult and do draw blades at a word. But if you say I killed senior sister Ding Ning, you at least need conclusive evidence." At the side, Chi Yubo hurried to echo, "Young lord, where's the evidence? If there's none, then move along and don't delay our cooking." Just then, a lazy female voice sounded from not far away. "My disciple is indeed missing. At least Hien was the last person to see Ding Ning, so he should accept scrutiny." A woman of outstanding grace came into view, she being Shun Yik, the master of the Pleasure Pavilion and Ding Ning's teacher. Then Shun Yik spoke again. "Mr. Qi, how about letting Hiyun stay at the Mirror Terrace for a few days? Once I finish investigating, I can return his innocence." And Chi Yubo replied at once, "Mirror Terrace. You want to confine him? But rest assured, this isn't confinement. Give me 5 days, how about that? And I will treat him well." Chi Yubo was immediately at a loss and subconsciously glanced at Wu Xiaoyan, only to see the master clench her fair fists, her expression clearly extremely displeased. Seeing this, Chi Yubo instantly turned and said, "What if I disagree?" To that Shin Yik merely shrugged with both hands, speaking casually. "Then I can only conclude Hiyun is the murderer. You are sheltering an accomplice. Execute him immediately," which left Chi Yubo speechless. "Even me? You'd have me executed too." At that moment, Wu Xin secretly transmitted a message to Qi Yubo. She is fiercely protective of her disciples. Tangling with her will make things very troublesome. Just lock Yin up, she won't be able to find anything anyway. You should go along too, and while you're at it, teach Yin a few things. Upon hearing this, Qi Yubo promptly spoke with righteous gravity. If that's the case, lock him up then. But if no clues are found, I'll blow my top. Also, I must accompany Yin. You're all so aggressive. I'm worried you'll bully my disciple. Yin had planned to go on his own, but Qi Yubo stopped him. Enough talk. Pack some spare clothes. We're taking him to confinement. Seeing his master so determined, Yin could only nod and turn a pack. But suddenly he sensed something off. Could Tian Shui be in league with Ding Ning? Why was he so certain I killed her? And besides, what exactly was the Changming Pa Ding Ning mentioned? Yin couldn't figure out right away, so he went back to pack his clothes. Then he suddenly remembered the seed the master had ordered him to safeguard carefully. Yin wasn't stupid. He had already guessed that thing wasn't a seed at all, so he activated Know-It-All to query its information. The next second, the system popped up a notice identifying it as the Changming Pa, not a plant seed. Changming Pa, a legendary top-tier artifact. Whoever possesses it is the strongest. In truth, this item seals the true person of Changming and the Demon Lord's primordial soul. After reading the description, Yin frowned in confusion. He understood who the Demon Lord was, but who the hell was this true person of Changming? Just then, a voice called from outside, urging him to hurry. With no time to think, Yin quickly put the object away to study later. He still didn't understand why the cult leader would entrust something so important to him, but being confined for a few days didn't seem too bad. At least the Changming Po would be safe. As for the true person and the Demon Lord, he could investigate after he got out. Upon arriving at the Pleasure Pavilion, Yin couldn't help asking, "Master, why are there so many mirrors here?" Qi Yubo replied without even looking up, "Otherwise, why would it be called Mirror Terrace?" Yin was speechless. That explanation explains nothing. So he couldn't resist asking again, "What exactly are all these mirrors for?" Qi Yubo, still not raising his head, answered calmly, "To monitor us, of course." Yin's face twitched. "So, basically security cameras, huh? Great. They're watching us even when we eat and take a dump." Qi Yubo seemed to notice his concern and patted his shoulder. "Relax. Not every corner has mirrors. It's not as perverted as you think." Soon, the Pleasure Pavilion's people escorted Yin to a certain chamber. As the stone door opened, Xiao Gaga said flatly, "You two will stay in this room." The moment Yin stepped inside, he couldn't help but exclaim, "This is prison? The treatment's presidential level. The decor and comfort here are way beyond what I expected." Before entering, Qi Yubo reminded coolly, "Master Shun, remember what I said. If there's no evidence proving my disciple guilty, I won't let this slide." Hearing that, even Shin Yik broke a cold sweat and quickly nodded. "Understood." After the door shut, Tian Shui snarled, "He's just a cook. How dare he speak to master like that?" Shin Yik immediately motioned for silence. "Qi Yubo isn't just a cook," she warned coldly. "Don't ask questions you shouldn't. Go find out where your junior sister went. And tell me," she added, "why did your junior sister insist on seeing Yin alone? He's just a kitchen boy. What business could they possibly have?" But Tian Shui shook his head. "I don't know. She said she suspected Yin was a spy and wanted to test him." Hearing this, Shin Yik immediately frowned. "A spy? Bullshit. A spy around Qi Yubo? She must have water in her brain. Besides, investigating spies isn't the Pleasure Pavilion's job." Tian Shui instantly lost his composure. "My junior sister was thinking for the Nine Nether Hall. Didn't they say the cult leader came out of seclusion? There are plenty of people outside coveting the Changming Pur in her hands." At the mention of cult leader, Shun Yik's expression turned odd. Why has the leader not shown herself since leaving seclusion? Strange. Meanwhile, Yin and Qi Yubo were tidying the room and arranging their daily belongings. After a quick look around, Yin found there were no mirrors in the room and secretly let out a breath of relief. "If I'm not outside, that demon is senior. If her poison acts up again, Won't she grab any man in sight for help? Why am I even worrying about her? She didn't worry about draining me dry. Just then, Chi Yubo's expression suddenly hardened as he cast a stern glance at Hee-yun. Then he snapped up his hand. Spiritual energy erupted and blasted across the air toward him. But since his recent level surge, Hee-yun's senses and reflexes had improved tremendously. After dodging aside, Hee-yun shouted angrily, "Master, what the hell? If I hadn't moved, I'd be a splat of meat right now." Yet Chi Yubo stared at him with grave eyes. "You're level 60. Seeing this, Hee-yun muttered inwardly. It was the first time he'd ever seen his master wear such a look. When Hee-yun stayed silent, Chi Yubo's aura flared as he demanded, "Not long ago, you were just an ordinary man. What the hell happened in only a few days?" The sudden tension made Hee-yun gulp nervously. He finally realized his master was definitely no simple cook. Forcing himself to stay calm, he said, "Yes, I'm level 60, but I really don't know how it happened." Hearing that, Chi Yubo gave a sly, amused smile. "Don't know the reason, huh?" That smile instantly made Hee-yun panic. "Ding Ning took me out on a trip, dumped me in the mountains. I stumbled into some weird place, blacked out, and when I woke up, I was level 60. Master, think about it. Someone suddenly jumping to 60? Of course I hit it. And you can tell, I don't even know a single technique." After hearing this, Chi Yubo suddenly burst out laughing. Then he plopped down on the bed and said, "Next time someone asks, just say I taught you. Hiding your strength, huh? Stop making up ghost stories no one would believe. I don't care how you leveled up. Clearly you got some big fortune. Kid, your luck's ridiculous. When the cult leader and Fong Yin said you killed Ding Ning, I didn't even believe it." Hearing that, Hee-yun's face instantly changed. He hadn't expected the truth to be exposed. "You know I killed Ding Ning?" Seeing his disciples panic, Chi Yubo burst out laughing. "You're sweating bullets, look at you. You were brave enough when you killed her, weren't you? What are you afraid of now? We're the 9 Nether Demon Hall. We kill without blinking. The cult leader and the deputy leader already knew. Of course, they were right there watching you do it." Hearing that, Hee-yun slapped his forehead, muttering under his breath, "No wonder I felt like I was being watched. But Master doesn't seem mad about it." Chi Yubo suddenly slipped the ring off his index finger. In that instant, a terrifying aura burst out from him, pressing down so hard that even Hee-yun couldn't help but feel suffocated. Then Chi Yubo tossed the ring to Hee-yun. "Sorry, it's been 100 or 200 years since I last took this ring off. The aura's a bit heavy. It'll fade soon. It's a concealment artifact. Wear it and keep playing your clueless sweetheart act." Looking at the ring in his hand, Hee-yun was so moved he almost shed little pearls of tears. Gazing gratefully at Chi Yubo, he said in a soft, syrupy tone, "Master, you're so good to me." Seeing that overly touched expression, Chi Yubo snorted, "Don't forget how good the cult leader's been to you. When you soar to glory someday, make sure you repay her kindness." Hee-yun frowned in confusion. "Master, why is the cult leader so nice to me?" Chi Yubo's old face flushed slightly as he coughed. "You really don't get it, huh? Once the cult leader sets her eyes on you, it's not easy to escape. Anyway, she thinks you've got potential, so she told me to teach you some life-saving skills. And since you've been calling me master for years, it'd be rude not to teach you anything. I'll pass on my unique technique, the ruthless hand." Hearing that, Hee-yun instantly lit up. "Yes, I want to learn it." Chi Yubo nodded slightly, channeling his energy as he explained, "The ruthless hand emphasizes one thing: ruthlessness. It strikes fast and hits hard. Every palm you land drains your opponent's blood and spirit energy. Once you grasp the basics, you can alternate it with a merciless finger. That move channels all your strength into the fingertip. It can pierce acupuncture points and seal an enemy's meridians in an instant. When my ruthless hand reached its peak, it became the realm of eternal ruthlessness." At that point, Chi Yubo's expression suddenly froze. He had noticed and asked curiously, "Master, why did you stop talking?" Chi Yubo chuckled softly and waved his hand. "Just learn the basics. Don't aim for the pinnacle. The higher you climb in this art, the colder your heart becomes. Pure ruthlessness always comes with regret." Hee-yun blinked. But Master, you still have emotions. Doesn't that mean you didn't reach the final stage? Chi Yubo's face turned complicated. Of course I reached it. I'm gifted. Even at the peak of ruthlessness, it doesn't affect me. Seeing his master's hesitant look, Heian grinned knowingly. I knew it. My master's no ordinary cook. You're the hidden monk sweeping the kitchen floor. Chi Yubo stood up at once and gestured. Gulme, the space outside is bigger. I'll demonstrate it for you. Heian quickly followed, asking cautiously, there are mirrors outside. Aren't you worried someone might copy the technique? Chi Yubo simply chuckled. Copy it? Only if they've got a death wish. Being locked in the mirror terrace is nothing but beneficial. It's the perfect place for focus cultivation. Hearing that, Heian secretly grinned. So badass. Master might be second only to the cult leader and the deputy. Total thigh to cling to, must hold on tight. Soon, the two arrived at a spacious open area. After a few stretches, Chi Yubo said, I'll demonstrate once. Remember as much as you can, first form, then intent. If you make mistakes, I'll correct you. Hearing this, Heian bowed respectfully. Understood, Master. Chi Yubo then began channeling his inner energy, inhaling the spiritual essence of heaven and earth. His vast power flowed through his meridians, and his aura surged higher and higher. Then, with a thunderous shout, everything abruptly halted. After finishing, Chi Yubo asked, How much did you memorize? Try to mimic it. Mistakes are fine. To his surprise, Heian's imitation was nearly flawless. Every motion sharper, even more refined than his own. Even Chi Yubo, a hidden powerhouse, was stunned by his disciple's aptitude. You brat, he said in disbelief. Is this really your first time learning a martial art? Heian scratched his head. Yeah, first time, but I started at level 60, so maybe that makes it easier. Chi Yubo smiled with pride, patting his shoulder. Truly a prodigy. The cult leader chose well. With me here, you'll get everything I've got. Meanwhile, deep within the most secret chamber of the Pleasure Pavilion, the Pavilion Master watched the mirrored scene with keen interest. Seeing Heian's astounding talent, she smirked faintly. Not bad at all. If he really didn't kill my disciple, maybe I'll steal him and make him my little apprentice. Not long ago, Chi Yubo passed his own supreme art to Heian. After 3 days of practice, although still not up to his master, this level was enough for self-defense. The Ruthless Hand is actually quite easy to get into. Gradually, Heian began to forget his roots, leave the demon's sect, and join the righteous path, wanting to try out the ruthless grab hand. And Chi Yubo suddenly gave him a hand blade chop. Then he asked, Brat, what are you muttering at the wall for? How's the training going? And Heian hurriedly pointed at the wall mark and said, Master, look, I can lead a palm print too. Seeing this, Chi Yubo couldn't help praising. Your cultivation talent is heaven-defying. Back then it took me 10 years to get this effect. I'm not as good as you. Hearing that, Heian muttered under his breath. After all, I'm level 60 now. If I were level 0, I'd probably train 50 years and still not pull it off. I'm taking advantage here. But Chi Yubo still heard it. Kid, did you smear honey on that mouth of yours? Fine, at least you're cautious enough to keep your voice down. Here, this was personally delivered by head Fong Yin. Study it well. Master, what technique is this? Why isn't there a name written? The acting sect head didn't say a word either, just dropped the book and left. Taking it, Heian couldn't help frowning. It didn't look like a combat method, more like a classic on cultivating inner breath. After that, Heian didn't think much of it, opened the manual, and began to read it carefully. Then he excitedly put the manual away, ready to go practice. This made Chi Yubo rather annoyed. He'd raised this kid for years, yet never realized how obsessed he was with cultivation. If he'd known earlier, he would have trained him from childhood. What a misstep. But Heian didn't rush to train. Instead, he used his know-it-all talent to check the manual's origin. Chaming scripture, a method for refining true chi, able to replace the body's existing circulation routes, so power flows smoothly through the meridians. At that, Heian completely lost his composure. Chaming core, chaming scripture, by story logic, these two must be related. Whatever, let's just start practicing. He quickly calmed his mind and tried the breathing method written on the first few pages. Instantly, he felt his whole body relax. It was as if every part of him had been purified, each breath like bathing in a cool forest breeze. His hearing sharpened, his sight cleared, every sense became more vivid. The scripture resonated with him perfectly, as if it had been written specifically for him. He immediately decided to ask his master about it, to find out who this true person of Changming really was, and maybe learn from him someday. Coming before Chi Yu Bo, He-Yun asked right away, "Master, do you know the true person of Changming?" The question surprised Chi Yu Bo. "You brat, how do you even know about such an ancient powerhouse?" He-Yun lied without hesitation. "Got punished last time, poked around a scripture pavilion, found some stuff." The true person of Changming, Chi Yu Bo explained, was a peerless being from 1,000 years ago, said to have half-stepped into godhood. Sadly, he and the demon lord perished together in battle. He-Yun gasped. "The demon lord? You mean our old cult leader?" So the true person fought our ancestor and lost. Chi Yu Bo shook his head. "We are a demon cult, yes, and outsiders call our leader Demon Lord. But the one I mean was the lord of the demon race." He quickly said he'd never heard of any demon race, muttering inwardly, "Is this world actually high magic? How come I grown up here and never heard of it? Sure, there are night wolves and such, but those are just spirit beasts soaking up ambient chi at best." Chi Yu Bo went on to explain, "The demon race vanished after that great war. No one's seen them since. Ordinary folk wouldn't know. I only heard it from my own master. Whether true or not, who can say? But these are all just legends. It's been too long, and no one can say for sure." At that moment, the system prompt suddenly chimed in. "Young Master Yun has uncovered one clue to the world's truth. Adventure triggered. One adventure shard awarded." This surprised He-Yun greatly. The world's truth? So the demon race master mentioned is real, and the Changming scripture, the true person of Changming. This development feels off. He-Yun then hurriedly said he wanted to go back and keep practicing that untitled classic. After reading it carefully, his doubts only grew. Could this book have been authored by the true person of Changming? How could such a wondrous text be in the demon cult? But when He-Yun reached the last page, his pupils suddenly contracted. "Presented to my 2 disciples. May you break through soon." This puzzled He-Yun even more. For the 2 disciples. Meanwhile, Pavilion Master Shun was staring into the mirror in her hand, mumbling, what were they just talking about? Their voices are so quiet. A woman's voice suddenly cut in and interrupted her. "Little Kayer, aren't you afraid of seeing something you shouldn't?" At that, Pavilion Master Shun rose awkwardly. "Deputy Sect Master, what brings you here?" The newcomer was none other than Fong Yin, the current acting leader of the demon cult. Just now, Deputy Master Fong Yin had sought out Pavilion Master Shun, who was spying on He-Yun. "There's a mole in the Pleasure Pavilion, and you as the sect head noticed nothing. The cult leader sent me to ask you, do you still want to keep your post as head?" Shocked, Pavilion Master Shun blurted, "A mole? How could that be?" Fong Yin smiled meaningfully. "Then you'll have to investigate it thoroughly yourself. The cult leader has just come out of seclusion and is busy with many affairs. Don't make her worry." Pavilion Master Shun immediately knelt to the ground. This subordinate will investigate thoroughly and put both the cult leader and deputy at ease. Meanwhile, Tian Shui led a group to the place where Ding Ning had been killed. He secretly sneered, "Can't even hide a corpse properly. What a disgrace to our 9 nether demon cult." Then he motioned for the others to dig up the pit. Seeing 3 of them preparing to use force, he immediately snapped, "Are you brainless? 3 of you blasting at once. You trying to destroy the remains? Dig, damn it. Use shovels, pickaxes, or should I dig it up myself?" Hearing that, the men hurried to fetch tools and began digging furiously inside the pit. Yet after digging down 5 meters, they still hadn't found Ding Ning's corpse. They began to doubt whether they had the wrong spot. But Tian Shui declared firmly, "No mistake. I can smell senior sister Ding Ning's fragrance. It's faint, but unmistakably hers. She was here. She must have been here." Just then, to investigate the traitor case, Pavilion Master Shun arrived at the scene as well. After pouring the liquid from her bottle, she said coldly, "Our disciples of the Pleasure Pavilion cultivate the dual harmony art. Their body fluids contain special components that react with the forgetting love water I practice. If Ding Ning truly was here, there will be a reaction." The moment her words fell, a surge of purple mist erupted from the ground, instantly enveloping the entire area. Meanwhile, Wu Xiaoyan was watching through the mirror, murmuring, "This kid's quite diligent in his cultivation. Just praised him a second ago, and now he's stopped. What's he sneaking around doing? What are you up to, little brat?" She saw Yin suddenly open the door to his stone chamber. Wu Xiaoyan quickly switched the viewing angle to see what that kid was about to do. A sudden thought rose in He Yun's mind. He decided to channel Changming true qi into the Changming core to see if anything would happen. Without hesitation, he poured all the refined true qi into it. What followed left Wu Xin utterly stunned. The Changming core began to glow with golden light and actually sprouted roots, forming the shape of a small tree. She couldn't believe it. "I spent 1,000 years using the 9 nether soul-devouring scripture, seized countless souls and spiritual power, and still couldn't make the Changming core condense. And he succeeds after only a few days?" But before she could go far, a sharp, familiar pain surged again in her heart. Meanwhile, Ian was growing frustrated. Those who can't cultivate Changming true qi can't use this artifact at all, and there's no visible function. The system appraisal said it's half real, half fake. So what? Only 50% reliable. Just then, a figure suddenly burst into the room, signaling for Qi Yubo not to enter. It was the ailing Wu Xiaoyan herself. The moment she entered, she threw He Yun to the floor without a word. "No time to explain," she snapped. Seeing her growing more frenzied, He Yun hurriedly protested, I didn't bring many clothes." At that, Wu Xiaoyan simply sat down hard on top of him, her face twisting in agony. She gestured for He Yun to help her, quickly, to purge the poison burning through her body. Hearing the sounds echoing nonstop from within, the old master outside could only cover his face helplessly. Then, with a thunderous bang, the stone door was kicked open. Pavilion Master Shun had used secret arts to identify the killer. Leading a furious group, she now had solid proof, and came to execute the murderer on the spot. Storming into the room, she shouted, "Come out! I will avenge my disciple today." But in the next instant, Pavilion Master Shun's expression twisted into something indescribably strange. For she saw, with her own eyes, the cult leader, who was supposedly in life-and-death seclusion, standing inside He Yun's room, staring coldly right at her. She slammed the door shut like she'd seen a ghost. Her brain nearly short-circuited. Did I just hallucinate that? The disciples below all looked utterly confused, seeing their puzzled faces, eager to know what happened. Pavilion Master Shun took a deep breath to calm herself and gestured for them to move aside. Nothing serious, just a bit terrifying. Then she noticed Qi Yubo crouching nearby. She hurried over and crouched beside him, whispering, "Why didn't you tell me the cult leader was in there? And why on earth would the cult leader be with He Yun?" Feeling guilty, Qi Yubo started making things up. "How should I know? Maybe she's been in seclusion too long. And when she came out, the first man she saw was him. Love at first sight, perhaps?" Pavilion Master Shun shot him another soul-piercing question. How long have those two been dual cultivating? Qi Yubo's old face flushed crimson. "No idea, but my legs have gone numb squatting here this long." "Why are you blushing? Doesn't your pleasure pavilion spend all day dual cultivating anyway?" Just then, a streak of crimson light burst through the door and vanished into the chamber in an instant. The light was unbelievably fast, clearly trying to avoid attention. Its destination was the rear mountain of the sect, where Fong Yin, as planned with the cult leader, was already waiting with a bundle of clothes in hand. As soon as Wu Xiaoyan landed, Fong Yin quietly asked, "You weren't discovered, were you, cult leader?" Wu Xiaoyan nodded. Shen Yi caught sight of me and He Yun. She knows the technique I practice can't allow me to break my body lightly. Fong Yin grew tense immediately. "Shall I handle it, my lady?" Wu Xiaoyan shook her head. "She's not foolish enough to spread it." But keep a close watch on that brat Hiyun. Don't let him stray from our 9 nether cult. Also, I'm going to see Xia Shuang. Fang Yin's face changed instantly. That must not happen. The 9 Heavens sect and our 9 nether cult are sworn enemies. You're injured. Going there is suicide. Wu Xiaoyan sighed and pulled herself free. Let go of me. Didn't I tell you to stop putting your hands all over me every day? Fang Yin immediately backed off several steps, afraid the cult leader would lash out. Yet she still tried to persuade her. Even if Xia Shuang is your blood sister, it's been centuries since you've spoken. At your level, blood ties mean little now. Wu Xiaoyan waved her off. Enough. Find an excuse to release Hiyun. I'm taking him with me. Fang Yin's face twisted with jealousy. Why him? Take me instead. Wu Xiaoyan sighed in exasperation, grabbed her chin, and retorted. Do you even have that function? Then she flung her aside. Do as I command. Flushed and sprawled on the ground, Fang Yin muttered shyly, for the cult leader's sake. I'll just have to cultivate that function myself someday.